Holy cow! Welcome to Donnie's Hangout Adventures, and all I'm going to say is the background is a little bit different. We're not the same place, and that's all I'm going to say. I won't say much more other than that. So, the mystery will remain a mystery. Still in Ottumwa? Yeah, we are. We're still in Ottumwa, unfortunately. But yeah, we're still here in town, and that's all I'm going to say. Now, yesterday we received some sad news from the NBA world. Bill Walton, 71, he passed away, and I have to say, he's going to be missed. And wrote I wrote a script on this one because this was a little tough one to write. And usually I don't do that, but he does write down notes and stuff for what I'm going to say. But you know what? I want to write a script for this. I wanted to do this one somewhat justice. I won't be able to come close to it, but I'll give it a try. And how you live your life on Earth is how you will be remembered. Bill Walton was a product of the '60s, a hippie who gave UCLA head coach John Wooden many headaches. But the results at UCLA were there. They won back-to-back championships, and they had, I still consider the record. I don't consider the NCAA women's basketball the record. I still consider the record 88 game win streak. National championship game 1 year. Bill set a record that still stands. It still stands to this day, and I don't see it ever being broken. He was 21 of 22. He missed one shot the entire game. And Walton, this is well documented, was friends with John Wooden for close to 40 years, up until Wooden actually died. They had a special bond that doesn't come around very often. Wooden, like Walton, was a teacher of life. Walton was the biggest what-ifs in NBA. You can't really say he was a bust. As Bill Walton even said that he had as many as 38 surgeries from everything, from ankle, the feet, the hands, the wrists, the knees, you name it. Walton had it. And I'll tell you, if Walton was healthy, he would have been one of the best centers, probably the top 5 centers of all time. He never could stay healthy for an entire season. And to me, Walton's best season was 1985-1986 with the Celtics on a championship team. Yeah, a championship team that had Larry Bird. And I have to say this was his best season. Why? Because he knew his role. He was a role player. He came off the bench, gave him 19 minutes a game, 7.5 points, and he won sixth man of the year. And he played in 82 games that season. And Walton, that was his best injury-free season of his entire career. And he was a role player, and he knew how to play his role. Now, something that's missing today is with the role players. They don't know how to play their role. Walton knew what the Celtics wanted from him, and that's what he gave him, game in and game out. Like I said, wasn't for injuries, Walton would have been the top 10 center of all time. There is no question about that. But injuries, they did take their toll on Walton, and he pretty much suffered from that for almost the rest of his life. And I felt his career as a commentator was very underrated. Is you wouldn't know it, but during his life, he overcame a stuttering problem. This is why I liked Walton, why I loved Walton. I had to overcome that when I was a kid, the stuttering problem, and it can hinder your progress. It really can. But Walton, just like me, overcame that stuttering problem. And not many times do I say this, but there isn't a lot of people who didn't like Walton. Yes, he lost the battle to cancer, which is a common theme. But Walton had, I'm going to end this video on Walton had some of the best quotes that I've ever heard from anybody. And a lot of the quotes were about life. And one of my favorite quotes from Walton was this. Actually, it's my favorite quote. Not one of my favorite. It is my favorite. Life is easy when you're hot. But what happens when the ball bounces the other way? You just keep getting back up. Rest in peace to one of the greatest human beings that ever lived, and one of the people that could have been the best players in NBA history if it wasn't for injuries. You know what? Rest in peace to Walton. Condolences to the friends and family. You know what? This one will be felt for the NBA and for the world for a long time to come. Is Walton? I think John Wooden would have been proud how Walton turned out. No question about that.